2, 1, record. Welcome to Bone Storm's Sleepy Hollow Adventure for October. I'm
Hey, look
Pat
at
Dick.
that.
What does it say? You Hulk smashed your opponent. Yeah, you did. You beat her by more
I've
than
never
50.
seen that. Okay.
Yeah, that's new this year. Last week I won the I squeaked by with that 3 win. Yeah, so welcome to a new week. Let's get started. I'm going to share out.
Oh yeah, where's the
Hold
weekly
on, I gotta share it out, and let me know when you can see it on your end, sir.
Okay, any presentation mode?
I'm working on it. Come on. There we go. That better?
Yes.
Okay. So before I roll on from the first week 5 photos, I love the picture of McCaffrey literally flipping over to get into the end zone. Very nicely done. But my favorite picture, and this one's for Todd, look at the bottom middle, Justin Tucker elated with the Steelers' defeat. Screw you, Todd, and screw you, Jason, for celebrating that. That's why I made the biggest one on there. The man who scored 4 touchdowns against the Cowboys and beat them in their own house. Thank goodness. Next slide. Let's get to the first matchup. This was the Hulk smash score. So Camp Krusty Hulk took on the Gentleman Four Quarterlies in some abuse of his own sister. Hit it.
Turns out, contrary to your T-shirt, getting 200 or more isn't that tough. I got it without even trying. My starting quarterback, I think, got me 2 points. Still got 201.6 versus Terry. Sorry, Terry, 147.2.
You need to settle down. You had one good week. I don't even know if you've ever even reached 200 in all the years you've played. So let's pump the brakes on how easy it is to get 200. And until somebody breaks the 242 record, y'all can just shut it about it. Let's talk about this matchup. You're right. Poor Phillip Rivers, I don't know what happened against Denver, who's not a great team, gets 2.1. Doesn't matter when you have Christian McCaffrey and Will Fuller both scoring over 50 points in one day for Kevin. Decent day for DJ Moore. Great day for Devontae Freeman with 18. The rest of them were forgettable, although your Bills defense did great with 19, so huge day. Terry just never had enough start, and I'm sure she was happy with Tom Brady's performance. I'm sure she was happy with Chris Carson. That crazy Thursday night game with Seattle and the Rams, that was a great game. And then DJ Shark, DJ Shark with 38. Very nice, but nowhere near enough to beat the Hulk. Next up, we got my mama.
It's called mid-season management, sucker.
Shut up.
Okay. The Braille Bombers and the, who is this? Space Herpes. Love it.
Don't even dignify that with saying it. It's the stupidest.
Space Herpes also finds it easy to crack 200. He gets 206. I get 201. It's not even the highest point. To the 206.8 to Mama's 161.8. It's a good score for Mama, but not enough when you got 206. Handing Braille Bombers their first defeat of the season. Nobody is left without a loss.
And one of the things that was crazy, not just about this week, but this season so far, we have seen some monster scores from defense. Here is no exception. You'll see a bigger one coming up later. But right now, the Patriots dropped 22 against the hapless Washington Redskins. Kyler Murray, great day, 25 points in that comeback victory. Michael Thomas, 43 in a dominating game against Tampa Bay. Cooper Kupp, 28 in their loss. Allen Robinson, 28. He had big scores all over the place. Mom had Russell Wilson for 37, which was awesome. She had George Kittle on Monday night for 20, but by then it was so far gone, the odds that she'd come back few and far between. So congrats, Joe. Nice game in a crazy week. Next up, oh, Lord, we got this one. All right, talk it up. Talk it up.
Here we go. The Stonecutters. Wow. Shit Show takes them down 143.4 to 116.3. Did you have a full squad?
Yes, I did, jerk face. And all of my squad scored at least something more than his Marquez Valdez Scantling. My cast off only got 2.8 for Greg. It wasn't about that. Again, you got to look at Greg. Amari Cooper in that garbage time game when Dallas was getting their behinds whipped. 44 points. Chris Godwin, 33. Mike Evans Hey, you're supposed to be like number one in Tampa Bay. Could you take some away from this Godwin guy and slow down the S show? We should have had our names reversed this week. Lamar Jackson only got him 10 in that Pittsburgh game. Nick Chubb only got him 10, his big heavy hitters, but it doesn't matter. He kills me with the rest of it. I had a hard day. Patrick Mahomes, boy, that Indianapolis, both defensive line and offensive line, they look pretty dang stout against that supposedly high-powered offensive.
Yeah, and they were supposed to be all beat up.
Yep. So Pat came in with 22, Austin Eckler in 20 with 22, but the rest of my squad did not come to play that day. Congrats, Greg. You are better than me that day. Next up, we got Cat versus Todd. So another brother-sister matchup. Talk to me about it.
Here's another blowout. The Wild Poopers improved to 4-1, taking down poor Todd 181.4 to 113.8.
Todd cannot get that car out of the garage, for crying out loud. Every week it's something different. This week it happens to be a sister with a huge number, but he only got 113, so he's got to do some serious mid-season management. Maybe you give some tips, Kev, since you're such a flippin' expert at it now, with adding no one that really did anything except the guys you trapped.
What I would tell him is not to go to you, because you only managed to score 2.5 points more than that.
It was 1 week. Anyhow, let's get to the scores. Nice job by Cat. 23 points for Matt Ryan, 22 with Zeke losing, 22 from Dalvin Cook, a decent amount of spread of 14, 15, 10, 12 from our other guys. Whereas poor Todd, 20 points from Josh Allen in that Buffalo game. Nice job there. But 2.3 from LaShawn McCoy. Yes, you thought you might have wanted to trade for him, huh, buddy? 18 from Juju in that loss. The rest of the squad, forgettable that day. It has been a rough year for Todd. I'm sure he will pull out. He is a good in-season manager, except for spending all his money. I think he'll do something. He'll pull something out and somehow resurrect that and be fighting for the playoffs come up next. Next, you got your wifey versus the Lisi Strausses. Another big upset.
Yes, and another blowout, unfortunately, for Don. 177. Do you see what this is?
Dum-dum? That's for you, right.
No, it's a Tootsie Roll. You want to know what you could do with it? You could suck it.
Boy, that setup took so long. Dice would not be proud. Move on.
Lisa Stratus improves to 2-3 with her 177.1 to poor Don's 111.4. Rough day. None of our guys really performed like they have been.
Yeah, again, this one you should know well because he was thrown to your man Will Fuller 3 times in the day for those touchdowns. Deshaun Watson, 54. My goodness, 50 points. That is impressive. Another 50 from Aaron Jones and all of his 4 touchdowns against Dallas. Just huge. Those 2 alone, right? 100 points of that. All she needs is 77 on top of that. It's very nice. Dawn had a good day with Dak Prescott, 23. Great day for Alvin Kamara, 22. The rest of her squad didn't show up to play, and she had a kicker that's empty. Did she not? Oh, she followed the Kev thing and thought, I don't need a kicker for 1 week. I won't even bother picking anybody else. I don't need any more points. What happened there?
I talked to her about it. She went to pick up a guy during the week, and in the drop slot, she put the kicker. I don't know why. By the time she realized it, it was already the
Too late. You got to
Yeah.
look at it more than once a week before Sunday morning. Kev should teach you that, but he doesn't know any better either. Moving on to the next one, we got Clemens versus Jason.
This was one of the few close ones of the week. The great Cornholio was able to take down Mac Be Your Daddy 148.8 to 136.6 in a division game.
And this is also one where ESPN actually got it right, which is an anomaly. It's not certainly the norm. They predicted Clemens with 136.4. He got 136.6. They predicted Jason would get 146.1. He got 148. So really close right there. Aaron Rodgers, even in that win, because it was such a ground pounding game, only 9.4. Didn't get what Jason was hoping for, but didn't matter. He had Sony Michel in that blowout, 21 points. He had 27 points from Julian Edelman. My goodness. But here's the biggie. The Eagles defense, 44 points from a defense. That is only second to what? Your Patriots scoring 45 on you? That's insane. There have been some crazy, crazy defensive scores. On Clemens' side, on his broken down Mustang side, Carson Wentz didn't even get him 20. Leonard Fournette had a nice day with 25, but that was his only shining star. Marlon Mack had a decent time at 19. Oh, and the 49ers defense, 49ers undefeated. Nice job, 49er fans. 28 points against Cleveland. So nice job for the 49ers. Unfortunately, they couldn't rescue Mr. Clemens. Let's talk about the standings, starting off with Brockway.
All right, Brockway, the Wild Poopers,
Ugh.
4-1, leading by herself, and then we've got separation in this division. Finally, the Shit Shows and alone in second at 3-2, and the Stonecutters, yours truly, in the bottom of the bunch at 2-3. In Ogdenville, we have the Malibu Stacies at 3-2, still out front with that loss. Lacey Stratus alone in second at 2-3, and bringing up the bottom there is Todd, the punishment due at 1-4. Heading over to North Haverbrook, Camp Krusty,
Woo!
Cornholio, Daddy Mustangs, in a three-way tie for first. We're all at 2-3.
That is anybody's division.
Tell me about it. And finally, Springfield, we have two-way tie. Teams at 4-1. Joe is quietly having a nice season, and Mama both at 4-1. And poor Terry is now finds herself 3 games out of first in third place with a record of 1-4.
Now, I used to think that my division was the hardest, but looking from Terry's position, that's a hard division with both of them already having 4 games and you only got 1. Going to be a lot, but it's still early in the season. Let's see what happens. Today in the free agent bid, not a whole lot of movement, some low bids, some mid bids. Nobody really made any huge move or jumped on anything huge. But
did you get anybody? Let's see. Oh, you did.
I picked up a defense because I like to rotate my defenses. Mine don't score 22 or 44, so I have to keep going in the grab bag and seeing if I can luck into one of them. But so far, none have resulted in anything. Let's get to next week's matchups. First up, you versus Jason in a division matchup to see who might take over the first place.
Yeah, it's been updated since you did this, but still very close. It's got, oh gosh, this is yet another division game. We're getting those out of the way early this year. As of this moment, it's got just a virtual tie, 136.5 to 137.7.
Should be an interesting matchup. You got Phillip Rivers with the Pittsburgh Dangerous Steelers coming to town. They're wounded. They're like a wounded animal. Don't get close to them. They'll come and bite you. And you got Christian McCaffrey, who is questionable this week because I don't know if you saw him. You probably didn't watch the game. He was limping at the end of the game. Let's hope it's just a little limp.
He's just banged up. Yeah, questionable.
Exactly. Let's hope he does well there against his division rival, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Devontae Freeman against Arizona. That should be a good game for him. Will Fuller, I don't think he's going to match the 3 touchdowns, but he is going against Kansas City, who knows how they're going to rebound from that, or will they continue to get beat down? If Mark Andrews does play against Cincinnati, that's a good matchup for you. On the other side, Jason's got Aaron Rodgers going against Detroit. Good matchup there. That should be interesting. I think that's a Monday night game, perhaps. You got Sony Michel going against the hapless Giants. Good luck there. Derrick Henry against Denver. Good. Odell against Seattle. Odell's been an interesting one because I don't think he was his first, but he was his second overall pick. He's kind of been up and down. Certainly with Baker Mayfield having struggles, as so will Odell, obviously. So we'll see if he can rebound this week. But should be a good matchup, and it's always good when it's a division game. Let's move on to the next one, which is Mr. Clemens versus Mr. Joe.
Yes. So we've got Mac Be Your Daddy Mustangs going against the on a roll there, Space Herpes. These abbreviations down here are something else. I believe RS is way back from Rockland. But it's got Joe up big, 149.3 over Clemens. Clemens doesn't have a full lineup yet, though.
Yeah.
We've got him at 125.3.
Yeah. He's obviously going to change out Max since they are on a bye, I'm guessing, this week. Carson Wentz at Minnesota. Don't know how that's going to go. Le'Veon Bell, boy, those poor Jets, they just cannot get going. I mean, they're going against the mad Dallas squad, so that should be interesting. Leonard Fournette against New Orleans. New Orleans is looking pretty tough. That might be tough sledding for old Clemens. On the other hand, Joe playing at a high level. Atlanta versus Arizona with Kyler Murray. That should be a good day. Cincinnati, it's a total toss-up. He might not have a good day against Baltimore because they're playing well. Michael Thomas against Jacksonville. I like that. I like Cooper Kupp at San Francisco. That's a divisional game. That should be lots of fun. And then Zach Ertz and Jordan Howard against Minnesota. That should be a great matchup. That should be actually a fun game to watch, too. So it should be a tough one. Again, Joe's up big, but it's all going to depend on who Clemens moves into his lineup. But, again, a fun day, no, nonetheless. Next up, we got Mama versus Terry. 4-1 versus 1-4.
Yeah, we've got a battle from teams on both two opposite sides of the win-lose columns here. Braille Bombers at 4-1. Terry going against Terry, who desperately needs a win. As of right now, it's got the Bombers at 136 against Terry's 123, but it does look like Terry has a bye situation. Not sure if it's a quarterback she needs, but I think the Steelers are in talks with Terry Bradshaw to come back.
Dare you? Such a jerk. That's so mean. Why don't you post Mason Rudolph's picture of him lying unconscious on there? You're such a jerk.
Unscrew his
listen.
face mask.
Now listen, yeah, I know, not a good look. Russell Wilson going against Cleveland, that should be a good game because he's just playing at a top level. Jarvis Landry against Seattle, that should be good. Again, that's assuming Baker does well. George Kittle, look for him to feast against his division rival. On the other side, Tom Brady going against the Giants, that's going to be good for Terry. Mike Evans, let's hope he shows up. They need him on a milk cart right now in Tampa Bay. It's going to hurt her missing T.Y. Hilton, but let's see if DJ Shark can pick up the slack. On to the next matchup. It is me versus the Lisi Strata.
Yes, it's got the Stonecutters and the Lisi Stratas, the battle of the less than 500 teams, I call this one. It's got you projected right now at 136, which is going to be tough because you're going to have to score 25 points more than last week to make that score. It's got Jen right now at 118, but not a full lineup there yet.
Past performance is not indicative of future results, jerk face. Just watch me this week. I'm back, baby. We're going to have Kansas City and Houston. It's going to be a shootout. I need Mahomes and Kelsey to live up to their number 1 and 2 billings, dag nabbit.
Not in that order.
I don't care. It doesn't matter. I just need them to do something. The rest of my squad, we'll have discussion later. On the other side, Deshaun Watson playing at a great level. Again, this is going to be great because it's literally her quarterback against my quarterback in that game. That'll be a fun matchup. At least.
Oh, yeah.
O.J. Howard, who was supposed to be a top 5 tight end, has not shown up. I hope he continues not to show up this week for my sake. And Aaron Jones, hey, I was happy with what you did in Dallas. Why don't you take a week off? Rest on the sideline. Don't work yourself a lot. Let's let Aaron Rodgers throw the ball so you don't have to run it a lot. That's what I'm hoping for in this matchup. Next up, we got Miss Cat against Reggie Weggy in a division matchup of number 1 and number 2.
Number one. Yeah, the shit show. These are okay. As opposed to the last game, this is a battle of the better than 500 teams. Wild Poopers at 4-1 against the shit show. This is probably going to be a tough game for both of them. 139.4 shows them being really close as of right now. It's got Wild Poopers at 139.4 and the shit show at 142. So
yeah, a lot of this is going to depend on some of those players who've been up and down each week. Last week for the Wild Poopers, Tyler Boyd had a huge number. The week before with me, he didn't crack 4 points. So it's a lot of dice rolling on a few of those players. Ezekiel Elliott should have a good day against the Jets. That should be huge. Same with Matt Ryan and Dalvin Cook. I like that. Adam Thielen got a lot of love last week. Let's see if he does this week. Lamar Jackson should do much better against Cincinnati on Greg's side, as should Nick Chubb. Although Seattle's a good defense, let's see if Chubb can get loose. Amari Cooper should continue his big winning ways, but he's going to be without Darren Waller, the Oakland tight end, who's actually proven out to be pretty good. We'll see what Robbie Anderson can do against that Dallas defense, but that should be good. And again, a division matchup, so big time stakes for both of them. Let's move on to your wifey versus Mr. Todd.
Yeah, it's updated just a little, but still, she's got 3 players, I believe, not in the lineup. Yep. So who knows what this projection is going to be? But it's got Malibu at 3-2 going against the Punishment Due, another team who desperately needs a win. Yeah, he has at least one to fill in as well, it looks like.
Yep, looks like a good day for him and Will Dissly, who is a nice little shining star in Seattle for Russell Wilson to dump stuff off to against Cleveland. It'd be interesting to see Josh Gordon, if he can do anything against the Giants. I don't know how he's done all year, but I certainly haven't been talking about his name every week. James White should have a good game against him. It'll be interesting to see who he pulls in as his quarterback. On the other side, Dak Prescott should have a big day again against the Jets. Alvin Kamara should do well against Jacksonville. Keenan Allen, I hope he doesn't destroy Pitt. I'd be happy to get a couple of touchdowns for her, but I don't want him to completely shut us down. And then Sterling Shepard, she also has a guy in there that's doubtful against his New England opponent. So we'll see what Malibu Stacey does to shuffle her lineup. Should be a good game. But like you said, Todd is desperate for a win. He might angle some sort of trade or grab some people or make some risky moves this week that would either pay off or not. To the last slide, read it for me.
It says the Bone Storm outing will be on October 27th, but where?
Exactly. So let me know, the three people that watch this, where you'd like to go. Last year we tried the Buffalo Wild Wings, which was kind of it was okay, but it felt very open and not so together like a little crowd. It was like kind of just a big open restaurant with bunches of TVs around. We can always go back to Players. That seems to be the place we've had the most fun, or at least the best outings. But I'm certainly open to anything else. If somebody else has a new place they want to try out or a place they've been that they liked, please let me know. We'll be open to anything. So again, let me know before 10:27. And of course, we'll be there the whole day. Not that you have to stay the whole day. I'm going to stay the whole day. But anybody can drop in and drop out as they please. And then don't forget the Monday Night Football at Terry's on the 18th of November. Thank you, Terry, for hosting that. So that's about it for this week. Let me.
You know who should stay away from the chicken wings?
What?
You know who should stay away from that chicken wings?
Who?
Is that Juju Smith-Schuster. He got a problem holding on to the ball.
How dare you? It's one drop. Just relax. I know it was a big drop. I know. I understand that. But you know what? It's going to happen. It's not going to be perfect all the time. Support my players. God, this makes me really angry that you bring up every small bit of badness with my Steelers. I root for your stupid Irish every week. I don't dog them when they lose. I was nice about Georgia, but no, you got to just crap all over my people every week. Yeah, that's exactly what you're good at doing when you're not sleeping. I'm going to do that next time you're sleeping. I'm going to walk up and just slap you in the face with it.
Hey, I can't help it. All you do is win. So when you finally
all I do is win. Look at my record. Am I winning this year? Not so much. My gambit hasn't paid off just yet. We'll see. It's going to be a long season anyway. Thanks for watching. I'm sure most of you won't make it to this end, so you'll miss all the great jokes. But for those that did, thanks for sticking around. So,
yeah, no kidding.
Any closing thoughts before we close this broadcast?
Yeah. Suck it.
Great. Lovely. For Kevin, this is Matt Dickey signing off. Kev, take us home.
Stay classy, Bone Storm.